experience is that 2 years really isn't enough. I think that we've made some progress. We can make some changes. We can go a little further, and we have to go a little further. And I'm confident that we will get there. But if I could today, very quickly, do 3 things. I want to tell you a bit about who I am. I want to let you know what I think I bring to the table as a counselor, what some of my strengths are. And I'd like to leave you with a kind of a visual path or symbol that guides me in how I function as a counselor. So, who am I? I'm the grandson of Kate Sullier, and my great-grandfather would have been Bill Sullier, and my great-grandmother would have been Mary Shelley. Story has it that my grandfather, Bill, he left Michipicoten and moved to Hawk Junction, the Old area, to sort of get away from the Indian agent, because he didn't want his 7 daughters going to the residential school down here called Shinwalk. So that's how our family, many of the Sulliers, ended up in Hawk Junction, and that's where I was born and raised. Right now I live in Wawa. My wife Barb, 31 years. I've been grinning for the last 8 months because I'm retired, which is a great life, and it gives me a lot of time to do what I want to do, and plus contribute to Michipicoten First Nation. I raised 3 kids. They're out working on their own now, doing very well, so I feel good about that. And I have been a counselor for 2 years, and I've enjoyed it. I'm learning, and I want to do more. What do I bring to the table? Well, I think I have a number of strengths, but let me point out 4, my top 4. I have always been in leadership positions. I've always led. I've always contributed to my community. I captained a number of sporting teams. When I was 16, I was a leader with the Hawk Junction Boys and Girls Club. 5 years into my career as a social worker, I was promoted to a supervisor, and I was a manager for 25 years of my career. Recently, I was board chair of Wawa Victim Services. I used to play Santa Claus for the first daycare in Wawa. So I've just always been very involved in my community, and I've always been in leadership roles. Why that is, I'm not quite sure. Maybe something to do with the Martin Clan or something. Irene was reading about the Martin Clan, and they're supposed to be a little courageous and take steps and take risks. So maybe that's part of it. So yeah. The other strength I have is that I consider myself well educated. I've had 6 years in university, but as I say, I have a little newsletter which I sent to some people. But education is, it doesn't guarantee you success, but I think it does help you in the area of planning and in the area of decision making. I've always had a saying that you got to plan your work and work your plan. And if education has taught me one thing, it is that you do have to have a vision, you do have to have a purpose, you have to know where you're going, and you've got to be working at it all the time. Because if you don't, you're gonna float around, and you'll be in a boat, and the wind will take you wherever. You got no direction. So, and the other thing I learned through education is when you make decisions, they should be based on facts. true facts, proven theories, and best practice. And that comes from doing a lot of reading, and more reading, and it comes from a lot of critical thinking and basing your decision making on proven research. So, and I try to do that as a counselor. I do read lots, and when I do make decisions, they're based on knowledge. And I am Ishinaab. Some people say I don't look Ishinaab. I don't get it really, but I am. I was raised in Hawk Junction. If you know anything about Hawk Junction, there are two native families there. There's the Sewers, and then there's the Baines from Cincinnati Creek, and growing up, I don't remember, sweat lodges or smudging, but I know we were in the bush all the time. We boiled dinners with lots of flattails. We were surrounded by aunts and uncles and grandmothers and cousins, and we just had a heck of a lot of fun. So I always knew I was a Chinook. Always. It was never been an issue for me. Never. And I'm very, very proud of that fact. I'm very proud of my Seward blood. So I let you know that. And that's a strength for me, and that's what's driven me since I retired and became a member, because I was a C3 as well. A member that drove me to apply to be a counselor. And lastly, I got passion. I got lots of it. And I won't let you down. You can count on me doing the right thing. I'm not a counselor for my cousins. It's not about the chief. It's not about me. It's not about the band. It's not about staff. It's about members. I'm here to serve you. When I worked in the social work business, I was there to serve people. And I will do that. You can count on it. So I'll take it to the bank. Just a quick visual about what guides me in how I perform. I was in Montreal 25 years ago, and I met a guy who was at a training course, and I met a guy who worked with street kids. And he had an acronym that he used to sort of paint a vision for his organization, and that was CARD. So the C stands for compassion, caring. That as a band, we have to care for everybody. We got to respect everybody. We got to listen. We got to understand. We got to be genuine. So when we care for each other, good things will happen. And A speaks to assume not, which is the importance of communicating. We heard here today we could probably do some improvements in that area, that we have to, as a band, get information out, and we have to get feedback from members. Technology being used here right now, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to podcast or do a web with our council meetings. The idea of there being a part-time office in Sault Ste. Marie has come up on a number of occasions. I think that has to be explored. So yes, so the communicating is crucial. The R in CARD stands for reflection. We can't be afraid to admit when we make mistakes and to learn from them. We can always do things better. We have to do some critical thinking. And I believe strongly in that, and it moves me along. And the D is that you, me, we work together, we'll make a difference. And that's what I hope to do. I hope I can contribute personally as a counselor, and I think that as a First Nation, we can make a difference for our future generations. So, I say, hold up your card and vote for me. You're going to get a compassionate guy, believe in communication. I will reflect, I will take risks, and as a group we'll make a difference. So, miigwech.